Today, we are doing this. We're looking at this first gay kiss in film history, Wings 1927. Yeah, the question that comes up, I guess, is this the first gay kiss in film history? And we're watching this here. We have a little bit of music behind me. I think I should use a soundtrack more. This makes this all feel very dramatic. And all right, so I think it's coming up soon. I'll just keep talking while just ad lib here. This is a beautifully shot movie, by the way. I mean, like, gorgeously shot, and just beautiful acting. So here we go, I think. Yeah. So some of the questions that are going to come up, I think, when we look at this is, is this just the male affection of the time, which was more pronounced than it is today? There was less sort of no homo culture back then, and then. And there you go. So that's the kiss. So the question is this the first gay kiss in film history? And so we're just gonna take this text here, search that, and we're gonna hop to AI mode, and then I really should just preload these. We're gonna do this thing I call throw the first one away. We're not even gonna look at this. The claim that the 1927 film Wings had the first gay kiss in film history. Some people ask, well, why, if you're just going to throw the first one away, why not just do this to start? Actually, one of the reasons why is that you get better results if you have it make a pass on the first thing that you don't look at. It goes out, it already has a bunch of search context at that point, and then you kind of have it reapproach. You get better results than just doing it straight out of the box the first time, which is kind of weird, but it's just the way it works, and I've done this enough that I know that that's the case. Now, one of the things that this is going to show, and this is kind of why I wanted to use this particular example, and I think this is why this might make a good example for a class, is one of the things that AI mode is good at doing is thinking of the questions behind the questions, right? So you're there and you're like, is this the first gay kiss in film history? But that depends a lot on what your definition is and what your underlying concern is, right? So, for example, there's a question of, is this gay, or is this, in a romantic sense, or is this a sort of a deep friendship? Now I have to say, one of the funnier YouTube comments. There's a big debate in the YouTube comments on this, but most people fall on this here, like YouTube commenter Critias Detested says, like the historians say, they were great friends. So there's that. But social mores were different at the time, and so we at least have to consider that, even if we feel that we will ultimately reject it. We at least have to consider that we're looking at this through eyes in 2025 at a time when we have different sort of social norms around male affection, right? It talks a little bit about the plot, right? So the plot here is about two characters that are in love with the same woman, right? So again, the context here is probably not like, oh, well, this is a gay plot about gay love. I mean, if you look at this and we kind of dig in, we want to look at the overall plot, but it seems like this would be more of sort of a subtext that isn't so sub, you know, for people watching the movie. Maybe I don't know. But again, like it's surfacing this issue here. Um, First, is it the first? It's cited as its first in its time in the context of Hollywood cinema. But Hollywood cinema isn't the cinema of the world, right? Like we could look at other things here. The Soviet film, Bed and Sofa. Again, we have to know what the context was in these different films. The American film Manslaughter, which is two women, right? Which again, like, what does are we talking about gay as in men, or are we talking about gay in general, the broader term gay, in the way we talk about gay marriage, for example, where it could be two women, um, and and also impact, right? So we're talking in film history, right? And so this actually was the first film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture, right? And so when we talk about what our thing was, like first gay kiss in film history, right? So if there is a sort of an obscure film, maybe somewhere else in the world that depicts this, maybe that's not so much of our interest. Maybe our interest is really among films that would be widely known and have impact, right? And so we might want to focus on Hollywood. We might want to focus on big films that are well known. Now we could dive here, and we can take this question and we can dive in a different way, and we can say, let's see if it does this when we're more specific about what we want on the table. All right. So we can't use the little trick that I thought, but this is good, right? And so it's getting at some of these here. I thought, that there was a Serbian film that was uncovered recently. So again, I don't know that this is a complete list. I'm almost sure that it's not. But again, one of the things that I think we're trying to get at here, and if we were structuring a classroom activity on this, one of the things that we're trying to get at here is, as we look at a question like, is this the first gay kiss in film history? Yes, we're interested in what the answer is. But the bigger thing we're really exploring is, how do we think about this question? What are the various ways of thinking about this question? Like social impact, subtext versus main text. How audiences interpret something versus how they don't. The difference in social mores and how something would be perceived now versus how something would be perceived then. The difference between sort of platonic versus romantic versus erotic, right? And how those different sorts of moments in film may have been at different times. The difference between, say, private films made for people and public films. So as we explore right, a question looking for an answer, we're also looking at, like, the question, right? And I think that this is one of the things that AI as a tool for students in classroom activities can play a great role at. It is a wonderful way to sort of expand the questions that you're looking at.